My goodness, what a place to wake up. Our time in the Mediterranean is almost over, but as we neared the mouth of the Rhone River, which will take us on our journey all the way to Northern Europe, we decided to stop here to say a final goodbye to the Mediterranean Sea. This is Les Calanques. So Aladino just woke up.
Oh, get the flares!
Get the flares!
Or an EPIRB. We should really buy an EPIRB.
Aladino discovered we have no more coffee.
We're out of coffee! Oh no!
We better call a pen.
Good idea. A pen. Yeah, at least there is one big reason that saves this dire situation, and it's the beauty outside. This is one of my favorite places in France. It's one narrow canal, like a fjord, incredibly tall cliffs, and I always think back in time, back when it wasn't only tourism. And also surprising is the depth here. Let me turn it on. 17 meters, almost 18 meters. Almost 18 meters of water depth, and we are, yeah, literally one boat length away from each side. Incredible.
Les Calanques is a hotspot for climbers and hikers, so we thought we'd go to shore and see what it was all about. We didn't actually take the camera with us on our first hike, deciding instead to just enjoy the hike without electronic distractions. But after meandering along random trails, we were rewarded with a view so spectacular that we couldn't help but take our phones out and capture the moment.
Unbelievable. Did you think you would get to a place without climbing where we could see?
This is amazing.
Magic.
No, I didn't think we could get up here without being a hardcore rock climber.
Wow.
Yeah, this is incredible.
What do you see?
I see magic carpet.
Wow. Check that out. Wow, and the ridge. So cool.
As we clambered over the rocks, we saw something hidden behind some bushes. Of course, we went to find out what it was.
This terrace and the view. What do you see?
It's in memory of one other person.
A climber?
Yeah, I guess so.
Wow. There's our little secret hut. And check this out. You can see our Calanque.
Excited and inspired by the view from these cliffs, we decided to return to Magic Carpet, grab the camera and a few other things, and head back to the hills. My spirits were lighter than they had been in a while. The sounds of birds, the voices of climbers echoing around the cliffs, the incredible beauty of this whole place. I felt grounded and at peace and absolutely delighted. So there are so many rosemary bushes here, and we're collecting some rosemary to bring home to use in our cooking. We chose more trails at random, winding away from the coastline this time until the view opened into a panoramic scene of these granite giants, and we decided to film something special. Just down the street, but I stand where I stood when I gave up the chance to knock on your door. Though I can't see the stars, I know just where you are. Hey, you wanna go down? See for miles around. It was the last few sweet days of October, and the air was cool and gentle. After the merciless sun of Sicily in August, I could feel the effect that autumn was having on my spirits. I was filled with energy to explore and create something I hadn't felt in a while. Throughout Sicily's summer, it was too hot to leave the boat and explore during the day, and I found myself feeling trapped in the confines of Magic Carpet's small cabin. Now, as the fall air set in, and we found ourselves in such ruggedly beautiful places, I felt all the more excited to run up mountains and shout with joy and dream up all sorts of ideas for our future videos and future plans. See for miles around. Soon winter will set in and we will be moving ever farther north. The days will shorten, the temperature will drop, and there will be more rain and more storms. But somehow I'm excited for the drama of all of this. The haze of summer is sliding away, replaced by the sharp clarity that colder air demands. Northwards we will go, but for now, our final goodbyes to the Mediterranean. Hey, wanna go down, see for miles around. We returned home filled with fresh air. And I'm not just using that as a description, I literally felt filled with fresh air. I had so much energy and so much joy, and just to top it all off, we could now row back from these cliffs, back to our home for the night. The other climbers and hikers always trek back to the town of Cassis for the night, leaving only the sailboats alone with the cliffs. Good morning. So sadly, it's time to say goodbye to the Calanque. But we are heading onwards. Aladino's bringing up the anchor just now. Low clouds turned the world grey as we left the Calanque region behind. It was time to leave the Mediterranean. We were heading towards Port Saint-Louis-du-Rhône, our home base for the past few seasons, but this time we weren't going to stay. Port Saint-Louis is at the mouth of the Rhône River, and we intended to put down our mast and start heading north through the continent. But first, we had to get there. So we're going through a very narrow pass right now. Aladino is guiding us through because it's pretty shallow here.
It's become tradition. I passed here a couple of times on my previous boat too. Once actually under spinnaker.
Oh my God.
So I know it is possible, and yeah, I'm just excited to do the same thing again and also see our depth sounder now that it's working, what it indicates.
So it's still pretty deep right here, 20 meters, that's tons, but it will get shallower. The bottom is creeping up on us, 16.4, 16.3, 16.1. Are you reducing speed?
Yes.
Just to be safe?
Exactly.
What's the depth at now? 7.6, 7.5, 7.4, we're still dropping. Yeah, I'm getting into the shallowest section now. Whee! I can see the bottom. All right, depth, we're at 3 meters. We draw 1.5 meters, so we're all good. All right, are we safely through? Awesome.
Depth rising, 7 meters.
Going back up again?
Yeah.
Good. And I just made some breakfast, some potatoes and some eggs. So now that we're through the passage, it's time to eat. Happy Dini, warm food in the belly. Soon enough, we neared Port Saint-Louis, notable for its constant supply of giant ships, belching smokestacks, and violent winds. Oh my God, this is crazy! Shortly after arriving and safely tying up, we got visited with sudden and severe gusts coming from the west. Fortunately, with good lines holding us to land and lots of fenders, we weathered it just fine. Violent winds and ugly industry, but for some reason, coming back to Port Saint-Louis felt like home. Only this time, we weren't staying long. Join us next week for the start of our series, North Through the Continent. We're heading north upriver, battling currents, whirlpools, and deserted towns in the middle of winter. Our goal? Keep going until we hit salt water. Thank you to all of you for watching. An extra special thank you to our patrons for making this episode possible. We're really excited to share our new series of going north all the way through Europe in the wintertime with you. So stay tuned for that. I think it's going to be a really great series. And an extra special thank you to these folks who really go above and beyond in making sure that these videos continue to happen. We keep upgrading our camera equipment, and I think you're going to see that upgrade become apparent in the next few videos. So thank you so much for that. We keep trying really hard to make these videos as good as we can. We keep learning, and thank you for being there along the way with us. We'll see you in the next episode.